great North Woods to the Rockbound Coast and streaming live in HD worldwide at foxbangor.com. More people choose Good Morning Maine.
Hello everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, we'll hear about an incident in Bangor where a woman was reportedly attacked inside her home. More on that ahead.
Plus, for many Maine lobstermen, leaving the harbor is costing more than it did last year. We'll hear how they're getting by.
And the Bangor Police Department has gained a new team member. We'll meet their new furry friend ahead. Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Janessa Bishop.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you for joining us. Happy Friday, everyone. We'll have all the day's news coming up over the next hour. We've got a couple of special guests joining us, too.
We do.
Folks from Bangor Ballet will be here.
Yeah, they have their performances tonight and all throughout the weekend. So preparation for all of that.
We'll be hearing about that, and we have a volunteer from the organization SCORE will join us as well to talk about mentoring programs to help local businesses too.
Cool.
So
Very
that
cool.
should be good. But first, a check of that forecast, and the weather's kind of shaky as we head into the Mother's Day weekend. We'll expect a bunch of sun and clouds, more clouds probably today, maybe even a little rain, and it gets a little wetter as we head towards the holiday itself.
A little on and off.
Yeah.
We'll turn things over to meteorologist Devin Biggs.
And thank you very much, Craig and Janessa. Happy Friday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Clifton General Store. Start your morning right at Clifton General Store. Fresh coffee and hot breakfast. Family owned and operated. All righty, here we go. No advisories in effect, so we're looking pretty good there. And we will be watching for a few showers and some rumbles of thunder possible today with a surface boundary that will be developing. As we do zoom things out, we can see that surface boundary developing. Temperatures warming up a bit today, but either way, as we do move forward, we will be watching for things developing, some clouds moving through today as well. Notice that development with the precipitation. Later on tonight, notice things do clear out. But again, as we do check out the winds picking up a bit in the gusty winds department to about 15 to 20 miles per hour. The winds backing off later on tonight. And then once we head towards tomorrow, again, not too bad until the winds pick up throughout the afternoon period. So for today, here we go. Upper 50s, mostly cloudy. There is a chance for showers and thunderstorms with that west wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Alrighty, your hourly forecast moving forward. Again, we got clouds today, then afternoon chances for showers and some thunderstorms. Again, temperatures in the 50s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Janessa.
Thank you, Devin. We'll see you a little later on. Well, first this morning, a Waldo County teen who was charged in connection with the murder of paddleboarder Sunshine Stewart last summer was in court on Thursday after recently being found competent to stand trial. Devin Young appeared via Zoom in a Rockland courtroom as lawyers from both sides addressed multiple procedural matters. The state is asking for a bind-over mental health evaluation, which is when an evaluation is done in connection with the potential for a case to be transferred from juvenile court to adult court. That motion was approved and the evaluation will take place. It is likely that the defense will order their own evaluation. As a result of the proceedings, we now know that the hearing is actually to determine whether the case moves to adult court is months away, possibly in September. That decision is pivotal to the case and what Mr. Young is facing legally.
Well, meanwhile, officials in Lewiston are investigating a shooting that injured a teenage boy. Details are limited, but according to Lewiston Police Department, crews responded around 4:30 p.m. yesterday to an incident at 4 Avon Street. They say they heard reports of screaming and multiple gunshots in that area. And police also say witnesses reported seeing several teenagers fleeing the scene. A 14-year-old boy was also found suffering from a gunshot wound to his leg. He is now in stable condition at Central Maine Medical Center. Police have detained several teenagers and recovered 3 firearms, and they say the investigation remains active today.
Meanwhile, a scary scene in Bangor on Wednesday night after a woman was allegedly attacked in her home. 2 men are now facing charges. Bangor police says it was around 6:30 on Wednesday night when they learned 2 men had entered the victim's home at Holiday Park Estates, a mobile home community off of Essex Street. They say that 46-year-old Michael Clark of Columbus, Ohio, and Dovin Campbell of Michigan assaulted the woman, threatened her, and then locked her in a bathroom. The woman was able to escape, and that's when police were called. We were told by some nearby residents in the trailer park that they were told to evacuate while police moved in to make that arrest. Clark and Campbell are now charged with kidnapping, assault, and criminal threatening with a dangerous weapon.
For the first time, Senator Susan Collins is speaking about a minor health condition that she has lived with for decades that some people may have noticed, but that she hasn't discussed until now. On occasion, Senator Collins has exhibited a slight shake that at times affected her voice or her body. Collins says that is due to a condition that she has had to endure during the entirety of her service in Congress. It's called a benign essential tremor. Collins says the condition affects about 1 in 20 people over the age of 40, but in no way affects her ability to do her job as a U.S. Senator. In a statement emailed to our station, she said in part, quote, "The tremor is occasionally inconvenient and sometimes the subject of cruel comments online, but it does not hinder my ability to work and, as I said, is something that I have lived with for decades."
Well, in other news this morning, many of us have felt pain at the pump lately as gas prices have been on the rise. But one gas station chain helped folks save some money while filling up. It's something Circle K calls Fuel Day, an opportunity for folks Thursday evening from 4 to 7 p.m. to save 40 cents per gallon at any Circle K gas station. The Audlin Road location in Bangor was bustling with people filling the parking lot, long lines with vehicles from U-Hauls to 18-wheelers to sports cars and sedans. Circle K is also going to donate 10% of profits from that event to the Children of Fallen Patriots Foundation in honor of Memorial Day.
Well, with summer right around the corner, our Alex Schley tells us how rising gasoline prices could also impact Maine's lobster industry.
For many Maine lobstermen, just leaving the harbor this summer is costing more than it did a year ago. From fuel to bait and traps, expenses are going up.
But yeah, it will affect everybody because it's expensive, no doubt about it.
Carter says the last time he filled his 200-gallon tank, diesel cost him about $4.60 a gallon.
I'm only hauling very close to the shore right now, so I'm only hauling like 50 gallons a day.
Carter says the cost of bait has also remained high after last summer's spike.
I guess it's about the same this year so far as it was last year, and it was up last year, so I don't see it going down.
However, Carter says the price they get per pound likely won't reflect that.
Canada has most of the bigger buyers, so they kind of control our price a lot of the time. It's really tough because they're opening seasons right now, so depends on what the price is and how good they do, whether or not we get a better price.
Meaning in an industry with already thin margins, lobstermen say this year they're expecting to feel the squeeze. Still, despite rising costs and uncertainty, they say work doesn't stop.
You got to go. Either way, you have to go to work, so just make it a little less.
In Northeast Harbor, Alex Schley for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Well, Elver season is supposed to be a lucrative fishery that over the years has seen prices per pound over $2,000. This year's catch is seeing record lows. So far this season, dealers reported buying a total of roughly 5,900 pounds, a little over half the total quota for this year's fishery. And the average price per pound is only around $308. This data is preliminary. While $308 per pound is not the lowest price in history of the fishery, it is the lowest since 2011. In 2018, Elvers fetched a little over $2,000 per pound, and in 2023, it was still over $2,000 per pound. And just last year, Elver fishers saw $891 per pound.
So the price for those baby eels way down this year.
Way down, yep.
Well, Bangor Police Department has welcomed a new member to their team, one with a real nose for explosives. K9 Tom joined the department recently alongside his handler, Officer Chris Bartlett. The two completed a rigorous 12-week course down in San Antonio, Texas, to learn the ins and outs of detecting explosives. The two will team up at the Bangor International Airport to help keep everyone safe.
He's a great dog. He's a German short-haired pointer. He'll be 2 years old tomorrow, May 1st. Very well-mannered, unbelievable nose.
Well, Bartlett said the training was intense and very thorough. A very warm welcome to Officer Bartlett and happy belated birthday to K9 Tom. We'll be seeing them out at the Bangor Airport.
Well, congratulations to them.
Yeah.
The time now is 8:09. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, local gardens and plant nurseries are now preparing for Mother's Day.
We'll visit one nursery coming up, but first, another look at that forecast. Today, we can expect a mostly cloudy day as the day rolls along. Maybe some thunderstorms later on, highs around 57 degrees. Mostly clear with lows dropping down to the mid-30s. And then tomorrow, Saturday, increasing clouds as the day continues. May see some rain showers too, highs around 61. We'll be right back.
Meet the toughest team in the game. Bad Boy Mowers and Bad Boy Tractors. These powerhouses will do whatever it takes to win. Putting in the work with unrivaled engineering, game-changing features like heated seats and an Alpine entertainment system, plus durable implements and style that's in a league of its own. Bad Boy Mowers and Tractors. Power, performance, attitude.
Think you know Robert Charles? Think again. While President Trump was crushing the woke left, DC insider Bob Charles was making millions holding lucrative contracts with the woke DEI Never Trump Obama administration. Trump trader, anything for a buck Chuck, can't be trusted.
When you get a little shout out at work, melt into your moment. Irresistibly smooth Lindor.
From me, the Lind Master Chocolatier.
The mother of all Memorial Day sales is here at Darling's Kia, Maine's #1 Kia dealer. Lease a new award-winning Kia Sportage for just $249 a month, or lease a brand new Kia Carnival for just $399 a month. Plus, every new Kia comes with our 10-year or 100,000-mile warranty. The best in the business. Upgrade in time for summer at the mother of all Memorial Day sales. The best cars, the best prices, and the best warranty. Shop Darling's Kia. You'll do better at Darling's.
Honey, I'm home!
This is gonna be a big one.
We got what you need.
I'm really hoping to find a good girl I can settle down with. This is gonna be a fun one for sure.
I can't stress enough how hard of a decision this was.
What could possibly go wrong?
We got it all right here.
Heart of Maine United Way is highlighting a major food drive slated to take place tomorrow. They are partnering with the National Association of Letter Carriers on their Stamp Out Hunger food drive. Letter carriers, along with volunteers, collect non-perishable food donations that folks set out by their mailboxes. It is a national effort and the largest one-day food collection here in America.
Last year in the Bangor area, we collected over 13,000 pounds of food, and that made more than 10,000 meals for needy people in the Bangor area. Especially where prices are increasing everywhere and more families are struggling to put food on the table. Every little bit helps.
Well, again, they are asking for non-perishable food items like canned goods and boxes of pasta. Just put out your donations by your mailbox tomorrow morning, and the food will then be distributed to local food banks.
How nice. Well, Mother's Day is this Sunday, and flowers are a go-to gift. There's a nursery in Eddington whose new owners are hard at work, making sure there's something for everyone. As our Doug Banks explains, it's not about what kind of flowers you get, it's about what they represent.
Life is in bloom at Rideout Gardens in Eddington as they prepare for Mother's Day.
It's really the Super Bowl for nursery businesses. Mother's Day is what nursery businesses prepare for.
It's a welcome change of pace during a gray-ridden spring.
Very gray, very wet, but that's living in Maine, right?
Growing alongside tomorrow's colors are Chris Glick and his wife, the new co-owners of Rideout Gardens.
I work in cybersecurity. Any other free hour I have, taking care of plants. The previous owners, Mike and Diane, are still very active in helping us. This is our first year, so we have 3 greenhouses open. We've got 1 vegetable greenhouse and then 2 flower greenhouses.
Which makes it easy on those seeking variety or specificity.
I want fire tails.
I come here with the thoughts of teaching my children about how plants grow and vegetables grow and where our food comes from.
As time ticks towards Sunday, flowers are not fleeting beauty, but rather a moment encapsulating a lifetime.
Whether it's your spouse or your own mother, it shows that love is long-term, much more long-lived than flowers in a vase.
In Eddington,
it's a good reflection.
Doug Banks.
And of course, gives that pop of color.
ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
What a neat place. Well, in honor of our nation's 250th anniversary, Friends of Fort Knox will be hosting a number of historical education events. The fort was built in 1884, so it's a Civil War era fort, which makes it the perfect backdrop for the School of the Soldier events, which shows participants what the life of a Civil War soldier was like with live reenactors. That kicks off this weekend. In July, there will be Civil War encampments with the 6th Maine Regiment that will include cannon firing and living history shows as well.
The fort is static, right? How many bricks are in this? How much stone does that weigh? How much does this cannonball weigh? That's only for a few that like that kind of stuff. It's the reenactors, the human element, that kind of put it into perspective.
Being a Civil War era fort, the Friends of Fort Knox will be honoring multiple eras, including the medieval era. An educational demonstration about living in that era also happens in July. And there's even a Harry Potter-style wizarding and witching event that will take place in October. You can go to their Facebook page for more information. Just visit the Friends of Fort Knox. They hold these events to help raise money and put it back into the fort.
Yeah,
to
they're
maintain it.
very busy over there for sure. Well, the time now is 8:16. After the break, the CDC is monitoring hantavirus patients closely. We'll have the details coming up.
Plus, several tornadoes have ripped through Mississippi this week. We'll hear from locals on how they're rebuilding. Coming up on Good Morning Maine.
At Planet Fitness, we know how important it is to take care of both your mind and body. That's why now through May 15th, all new members get free massage amenities all month long. So you can reset, recover, and leave feeling stronger than when you came in.
Did you just become a morning person?
Maybe. Join the club for just $1 down, $15 a month, and get free massage amenities for the month of May. No commitment. Deal ends May 15th.
With over 30 years of experience, Patriot General Contractors knows how to get your home renovation project done right. Our certified contractors can help you build, redesign, or finish the project of your dreams. Check out Facebook page for reviews and visit patriotgeneralcontractors.com to schedule your quote today. Patriot General Contractors, redesigning your properties for the future.
Family owned and operating in the Bangor area for more than 10 years. Crosby's Welding is here to help you. We specialize in steel, stainless steel, and aluminum welding and fabrication. We serve many of the local industries from Maine lobstermen to the commercial trucking industry and everything in between. Fully mobile on-site construction services right down to custom signs and fire pits. Fast, friendly, reliable service. Give us a call today for a free estimate, 974-7815.
I once told Sam, if you want to grow his department store chain, offer lower prices every day. No, I didn't invent discount pricing, but we did invent something better, Dorsey's Red Tag Clearance.
Look for red tags store-wide at Dorsey's. The tags mean you'll save an additional 10 to 50% off Dorsey's already discounted prices. Exceptional values like these won't last long.
Remember, these can save you hundreds. Live beautifully, my friends.
Residents across multiple Mississippi counties share how they survived tornadoes that ravaged the region this week. Local officials said on Thursday several tornadoes damaged around 500 homes, uprooted trees, and injured at least 17 people. Mississippi Emergency Management Agency said on Wednesday evening that no deaths had been reported. But video shows the large-scale destruction of many homes, buildings, and vehicles as several southern Mississippi residents survey the damage, picking through the debris that the storms left behind.
When I heard that roar, when I heard that sound, I told my daughter, let's get in the closet, and I'm glad we did, because that is the only thing that did not cave in 100%.
I was going to wait it out. I mean, this is the second time I've been around a tornado, but you know, up here, thank God a lot of lives were spared.
Well, Governor Tate Reeves said on Thursday that the state's emergency management agency was coordinating response efforts and urged everyone to pray for Mississippi. Look at that drone footage.
Boy, it's incredible.
Wow.
Here I've been complaining about a little rain around here.
I know, me too.
I won't complain anymore.
No, we won't. Let's turn things over to meteorologist Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Craig and Janessa, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Clifton General Store. Start your morning right at Clifton General Store. Fresh coffee and hot breakfast. Family owned and operated. Alrighty, here we go. Wave heights are not too bad. Again, we have no advisories in effect along the coast or even on land for that matter. Wave heights at around 2 feet according to the buoys. The contour is not too bad either. You have to go further out towards sea for any active surf. That's around 5 to even 7 feet. So again, we're looking good along the coast for us. Meanwhile, on land, again, looking pretty quiet, just some clouds developing. We have a surface boundary right nearby. We can see a little bit of precipitation with that. We'll have some developing for us today as we watch for some scattered showers and a few rumbles of thunder possible today as temperatures reach for the upper 50s. Meanwhile, as we do zoom things out, at some areas seeing a little bit of precipitation. Again, for us today, a little surface boundary is what's going to bring the precipitation for us. So futurecast moving forward, we're going to see some clouds this morning, scattered showers and some thunderstorms possible. We clear a lot of this out of here later on tonight. And then once we head towards tomorrow again, sunshine to start, then we'll watch for clouds and a few showers possible. And then once we head towards our Sunday again, not looking too bad either, just some clouds on the way. So again, with the rainfall possible, again, I'm going to run this at least through Monday. Here we are with around a quarter to maybe a half an inch possible, the highest totals along the coast. Then I'll run this a little bit farther where some areas could see around an inch to maybe around an inch and a quarter. And this is between now and Wednesday with lesser totals further off towards the north. New drought monitor in the eastern parts of the state seeing the most improvement, not so much further off towards the west. Western parts of the state could definitely use more rainfall. So for today, upper 50s, mostly cloudy, chance for showers and thunderstorms, and that west wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on tonight, here we go with mid 30s under a mostly clear sky and that west breeze at about 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, increasing clouds, rain showers with highs in the low 60s and that south wind at around 10 to 25 miles per hour. Let's check out your extended forecast for your Sunday, Mother's Day. Rain chances with highs in the low 60s with mid 50s coming up for your Monday. The rain showers continue. Rain chances again for your Tuesday. There it is right there with highs in the mid 50s again.
Everyone deserves to be connected. Big cities, small towns, everywhere in between. And staying connected shouldn't break the bank. That's why T-Mobile and US Cellular have joined forces. And now that we've combined networks, T-Mobile covers more places than ever before. America's best network just got bigger. Join now and your plan price is guaranteed for 5 years. T-Mobile and US Cellular, better together.
I was barricaded at the Capitol on January 6th. I saw it firsthand. I'm Jordan Wood. We can't go back to a broken system. I can't stand idly by as Trump rips away healthcare. ICE is terrorizing our streets, and billionaires buy elections. I spent my career defending democracy from election deniers and fighting corporate PACs. We need to take on Trump, beat Paul LePage, and finally deliver Medicare for all. I'm Jordan Wood. I approve this message.
Hank's Husqvarna is your trusted full-line Husqvarna dealer, offering you everything you need for your outdoor projects. From high-performance lawn tractors and zero-turn mowers to chainsaws, trimmers, battery-powered and powerful snowblowers, we have just what you need. Every piece of equipment is fully set up, serviced, and ready for use by our certified Husqvarna technician. And all sales are backed by our in-house Husqvarna warranty. For parts, service, or new equipment sales, make your way to Hank's Husqvarna in Carmel or Newport.
Everything you got. Light it up, cowboy. Go, 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 go.
All season long, IndyCar is on Fox.
The green is out and racing is on.
Alex Palou.
Sensational.
Otto Award. Joseph Newgarden.
Are you kidding me?
And Indy's top drivers put it all on the line. Every race, all season long.
He's going for it. Oh!
Fox is the home for IndyCar. Welcome to the fastest racing on Earth.
Welcome back, everyone. The cruise ship hit with a hantavirus outbreak with about 150 people on board is now steaming toward the Canary Islands. So far, 3 people have died and 9 others have confirmed or suspected cases. The CDC has now classified this outbreak, but health officials are facing criticism. ABC's Lionel Moyes has more.
This morning, sources say the CDC has classified the hantavirus outbreak as a level 3 emergency response, meaning the risk to the general public remains low, but is being closely monitored.
This is obviously a deadly virus, 30–40% mortality rate. It can take a while for symptoms to show up. So we have to be really focused on making sure that if anybody starts developing symptoms, that they get care immediately.
The CDC's move comes as some experts criticize the agency for not acting sooner. President Trump giving this update after being briefed.
We have a lot of people, a lot of great people studying it. It should be fine. We hope.
Health officials are tracking dozens of passengers who left the cruise ship April 24th, nearly 2 weeks after the first passenger died on board. About 30 people from around the world, including here in the U.S., returned home before contact tracing began. People in at least 5 states, from California to Virginia, are being monitored, and so far no symptoms have been reported. A passenger still on the ship told us no one currently has any Hanta-related symptoms, and we hope it continues this way, adding people are taking the situation calmly. The ship is set to arrive in Spain's Canary Islands Sunday. Many locals are protesting the ship's arrival, fearing a repeat of COVID-19.
This virus doesn't spread that easily. I think if we do a good job of tracking down everybody who left the cruise ship, monitoring them, I actually think we're going to be able to bring this to a close and we're not going to see widespread infections.
Spanish authorities say precautions will be taken to prevent contact between the passengers and locals. The U.S. government also says it is prepared to send a plane for American passengers. Lionel Moyes, ABC News, New York.
Well, now to the war in Iran and record oil company profits as prices at the pump rise. All of this amid new tensions in the Strait of Hormuz. ABC's Perry Russum with more.
President Trump last night confirmed the U.S. and Iran have exchanged fire in the Strait of Hormuz.
They trifled with us today. We blew them away. They trifled. I call that a trifle.
Central Command says it was self-defense after Iranian missiles, drones, and small boats attacked 3 American destroyers. Trump says the fragile ceasefire remains in effect, but efforts to restart peace talks appear to have stalled, with a major sticking point being Iran's nuclear material. The Washington Post reports U.S. intelligence believes Iran could outlast the U.S. naval blockade of Iranian ports for months, potentially giving Iran more leverage in the ongoing standoff. Meanwhile, here at home,
it's very disheartening.
More signs of the economic toll of the war, both good and bad. Good for the oil companies reaping profits off high gas prices. Shell now reporting a nearly $7 billion profit last quarter. One executive saying the volatility has created opportunities. It's not just regular gas fueling pain at the pump. Diesel prices, watched so closely by truckers and farmers, are spiking another 60 cents per gallon in parts of the Midwest because of refinery issues in the region. The impact? Higher prices across the economy, forcing consumers to cut back. Whirlpool reports demand for major appliances is down and says because of the war, it will soon need to raise prices.
This level of industry decline is similar to what we have observed during the global financial crisis and even higher than during other recessionary periods.
Kraft Heinz, which sells everything from mac and cheese to cream cheese, says consumers are literally running out of money at the end of the month. We're seeing negative cash flows in the lower income brackets where they're dipping into savings. Perry Russum, ABC News, New York.
Well, now to a developing story. Schools and colleges around the country falling victim to a major cyber attack. Sophie Flay with that story.
This morning, a hacking group has claimed responsibility for shutting down Canvas. That's a platform used by more than half the colleges and universities in the country, as well as grade schools, for coursework in communication.
I use Canvas for all my assignments. I think everything these days is all on Canvas.
The hacking group Shiny Hunters posting a ransom letter claiming it's obtained access to data from more than 275 million people across nearly 9,000 schools. Several universities acknowledging the breach. Harvard's Canvas site displaying this image. Penn State now canceling some final exams. The University of Illinois postponing assignments and finals.
It's kind of scary to think about how close we are to the finish line, really, and having to worry about our information getting leaked, about our classes being delayed.
Shiny Hunters is threatening to release the data May 12th unless it's paid an unspecified ransom. It claims it has several billions of private messages among students and teachers. The parent company of Canvas says the hackers access student names, emails, ID numbers, and messages, but not their passwords, birthdays, or financial information.
I'm scared to use anything on the internet right now.
Sophie Flay, ABC News, New York.
Well, this morning, the nationwide race to redraw congressional maps for partisan advantage ahead of the midterm elections has now shifted into high gear. Tennessee has become the latest state to approve a redistricting plan. Republicans voting to carve up the state's only majority black district, the only district in the state held by Democrats. The move sparks protests, the NAACP already suing to stop it. Louisiana and Alabama are also taking steps toward redistricting. Blue states too, including Virginia and California. Critics argue this gerrymandering will only make our national politics even more polarized. Well, coming up on the second half of the newscast, we'll learn about a mentorship organization called SCORE and discuss all things Wizard of Oz with Bangor Ballet.
Don't go away.
Carpets looking tired, stained, or just plain dirty? It's time to call the pros. At C&R Carpet Cleaning, we use deep steam technology to remove dirt, odors, pet hair, and allergens fast. Fresh, clean carpets, healthier home. That's the C&R promise. Visit our Facebook page for a free estimate or call us today, 631-7380. Step into clean with C&R Carpet Cleaning.
Is that a compression nut?
Oh! Ah! Ow.
We got a duct taper.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
At Old Town Redemption Center, we are always ready to help with any fundraisers or bottle drives. We are here to help our community. Like and follow us on Facebook for upcoming weekly holiday giveaways and our monthly $100 drawing.
Kirk Fisher is a motorcycle attorney with first responder experience. He protects fellow riders and those in danger. Fighting fires and fighting for your rights. Experienced, determined, and dedicated. Iron Horse Motorcycle Lawyers. Look for motorcycles, or Kirk Fisher will be looking for you.
Aggravated assault, cocaine possession, endangering a child. These are just some of the crimes committed by illegal immigrants in Maine. President Trump deported all these criminal aliens. As governor, Garrett Mason will fight alongside President Trump, standing tough on illegal immigration, supporting law enforcement, and putting the safety of Maine families first. Garrett Mason will deport dangerous criminals. He'll keep Maine families safe. We have strong leadership in Washington. It's time Maine did too.
Need a safe and caring place for your loved one during the day? At the Merchant Center Adult Day program, we provide a supportive environment where adults can enjoy companionship, engaging activities, and personalized care in a setting that feels like home. Our experienced staff is committed to meeting each person's unique needs while promoting independence, dignity, and overall well-being. Families can feel confident knowing their loved ones are in compassionate, capable hands.
At Old Town Redemption Center, we are always ready to help with any fundraisers or bottle drives. We are here to help our community. Like and follow us on Facebook for upcoming weekly holiday giveaways and our monthly $100 drawing.
Your goal is to put items in the correct order
before, in between,
definitely after.
This is the perfect line.
Weekdays at 10 on Fox 22.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, we're happy to be joined by David Green today. He's from the nonprofit called SCORE. And for folks that don't know about SCORE, why don't you tell us, what is SCORE anyway?
Well, we're a national...
First of all, thanks for being here. Oh, I should probably say that, too.
Well, okay. Thanks.
What is SCORE?
SCORE, we're a mentoring organization for small businesses. We're a national organization. There's 10,000 mentors, part of the Small Business Administration. And here in Maine, we have 110 mentors or so. So we mentor small businesses, and we do business training for small businesses as well.
Starting a business can be a daunting thing. There's all kinds of regulations and laws and things you have to go through. And that's where a mentor kind of can help out.
Yeah, we can. About a third of our clients are looking to start a business. About a third have been in business for about a year or less and say, well, it's not as easy as I thought it would be. And about a third are, mature businesses. But last year in Maine alone, we started, it was about 650 plus new businesses. So
really?
Apparently we're reasonably good at what we do.
Yeah. What got you into this personally?
Well, my business was starting to go down. I'm an executive coach and I do leadership development nationally. And the business was starting to, turn down a little bit.
Right.
And said, well, I have all these business skills. How can I use them? So I joined SCORE.
Right.
Yes.
And what do you get out of it?
A lot of satisfaction, seeing people who are struggling or don't know what to do, kind of moving forward and starting a business and starting a successful business. So that a few years later, they're hiring people, they're making money. They're not able to take a vacation yet.
Right. You got your own business. You don't vacation very often.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I have the trophy in front of me.
Yeah, that was my next thing I was going to point out. I mean, we've got SCORE chapters all over the country, some big cities, and our little old chapter up in northern Maine won a big award this year.
That's right. There's 250 or so chapters throughout the country, and all the finalists for the chapter of the year were from large metro areas.
Right.
They're from Silicon Valley, from Seattle, Washington, D.C., Atlanta. And for those of us in northern Maine, we were surprised when little northern Maine with a dozen mentors got chapter of the year. So we must be doing something right.
That must have been an incredible feeling when you heard about that too.
It was. It was a incredible surprise and feeling that, yes, we're recognized for doing something something good.
Well, I was going to just say that I think you guys are doing something right and helping to shape lives out there in the business community. If people are starting a business out there, do you want to hear from them?
Oh, absolutely. Score.org is the one-stop place for everything. So if you don't remember anything from this interview, score.org, you can go there, you can select a mentor from Maine, or you can just put in what your requirements are, what your business goals are, and they will match you up with someone who has the skills to be able to help you.
That's great. Is there a cost for this too?
Oh no, it's free. The training is free in northern Maine. We run maybe 2 workshops a week.
Really? Okay.
And that's free, and the mentoring is free. It's confidential. It's as often as you want. Some people say, well, I have a tax problem. Let me ask SCORE, and one meeting and they're done. Other ones, it goes on for years and years.
Yeah, what a great service you provide. Hopefully people will reach out to score.org.
Score.org,
if they want to get some help.
To go.
All right, well, David, thank you so much for coming in, and congratulations on all the good work.
Well, thank you, Craig.
All right, good to meet you.
Well, nice being here.
Yep. We're going to send things back over to Devin now for a final look at that forecast.
And thank you very much, Craig and Janessa. Happy Friday. Your first weather forecast brought to you by Clifton General Store. Start your morning right at Clifton General Store. Fresh coffee and hot breakfast. Family owned and operated. All righty, here we go. No advisories in effect, so we're looking pretty good there. And we will be watching for a few showers and some rumbles of thunder possible today with a surface boundary that will be developing as we do zoom things out we can see that surface boundary developing. Temperatures warming up a bit today, but either way, as we do move forward, we will be watching for things developing, some clouds moving through today as well. Notice that development with the precipitation. Later on tonight, notice things do clear out. But again, as we do check out the winds picking up a bit in the gusty winds department to about 15 to 20 miles per hour. The winds backing off later on tonight. And then once we head towards tomorrow, again, not too bad until the winds pick up throughout the afternoon period. So for today, here we go. Upper 50s, mostly cloudy. There is a chance for showers and thunderstorms with that west wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Alrighty, your hourly forecast moving forward. Again, we got clouds today, then afternoon chances for showers and some thunderstorms. Again, temperatures in the 50s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Janessa.
When Paramount Paving wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Paramount Paving in Old Town provides expert paving, seal coating services to eastern and central Maine. Currently booking for the 2025 season. Call for a free estimate today.
Graham, why are you running for Senate?
Because I love this state. When I got home after my service overseas, I was struggling. Maine wrapped its arms around me. My community gave me belonging. Our natural resources gave me purpose. Now all that is under attack by corrupt politicians who are selling us out to corporations and billionaires. I'm Graham Plattner, and I don't take a dollar of corporate money. And I approve this message because I won't turn my back on the home that never turned its back on me.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
You know Matt pretty well. Did he give you any advice?
He said that I should use 26 words or more.
When every word counts.
Trash panda.
Raccoon.
You had me a trash panda. That was gangster.
It pays to choose wisely.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
You just won it! 25 words or less every weekday.
Weekdays at 9 on Fox 22.
When Paramount Paving wants to know the local forecast, they log on to foxbangor.com. Paramount Paving in Old Town provides expert paving, seal coating services to eastern and central Maine. Currently booking for the 2025 season. Call for a free estimate today.
Welcome back in, folks. We'll start on the hardwood where UMaine basketball scored an exciting commitment on Wednesday.
I'm just ready to work.
Wednesday was an exciting day in the Maine basketball community as New Gloucester native and former Montverde Academy and Newman School guard Caden Bedard announced on his Instagram he's decided to return home and play his college basketball at the University of Maine.
You know, they've always stayed in touch. They've come to a bunch of games, and I felt a lot of love from, Mark Wood and all the others, the staff and coaching. And, I thought it would be a great fit basketball wise. My dad went there. And I have one of my best friends, Ace, up there too as well. So, it seemed like the best fit all around.
Yes, he's talking about household name and current Maine freshman Ace Flagg. Caden has played hoops with Ace and Cooper for as long as he can remember, as Bedard was a key member of the Maine United team that made waves in the AAU circuit in 2022 and 23. It sounds like Ace being an Orono certainly helped the decision.
It did play a pretty big piece. I think our chemistry, we've always had, a special connection on the court. And, as one of my best friends growing up, I've known him for as long as I can pretty much remember.
Some Maine fans are wondering how I've got this far and not mentioned Caden's dad, Andy, the Maine Basketball Hall of Fame guard and former Black Bear star. But that's what Andy wanted, for his son's decision to be exactly that, his decision.
He did a good job of kind of staying out of it. He didn't want me to go there just because, he was a big name there. He wanted me to be happy with my decision. And, he gave me his input on certain things when I asked. And obviously his legacy and me wanting to continue that legacy plays a little bit of a piece of it. But, he wasn't ever like pushing like, oh, you have to, like, he was good and supportive and wanted me to make the best decision for me.
Caden tore his ACL last summer, which can be a nightmare for a player trying to get recruited. Well, now he's back on the court doing drills and is thankful to have a home in Orono.
Coming off this injury, I was like questioning, am I going to be able to play at the Division I level, or am I going to have to just go to school for academics? I'm just super thankful for the whole entire staff for giving me a chance. It's a big weight off my shoulders.
Let's stay in the area and turn our attention to Orono High School softball, where the Red Riots hosted the Central Red Devils. The sun poking in and out up in Orono for this one. Let's start in the third with Central to play. Elizabeth Lugden gets a base hit. She'd get to third base, and a nice hit from Maddie Cox sends her home. Now here's a base hit from Allie Spark. That goes into the outfield and allows Cox to make it all the way home, and it's 2-0 Red Devils with two more Red Riots on base. Orono's Jillian Severance is going to get the closing strikeout, and then it's the fourth. She doesn't allow a run, strikes out all three to end the frame. Orono's turn at the plate. Aria Porter with the bunt. Central misses the throw to first, and Porter gets to third. She would score, but this hit by Maddie Frost in the fifth sends Jordan Curtis home and ups the score. Central goes on to win 4-1. Now time to check in with the Red Sox, who are coming off a series sweep against the Detroit Tigers. In what has been a disappointing start to the season, Boston entered the week with a 13-21 record, but they come away with 3 big wins over the Detroit Tigers, who play second in the American League Central currently. This marks the first time this season the Sox have swept a series. The series started with a 5-4 win on Monday, highlighted by a Jarren Duran home run. The Sox then won in dominant fashion on Tuesday and Wednesday with 10-3 and 4-0 victories. Red Sox interim manager Chad Tracy says the trip out to the Motor City was a successful one, and he's happy to see how his team's playing all around.
It's been a good week. The series was good. We did a lot of things right. We played great defensively. We ran the bases extremely well. We got the clutch hits that have been missing. We pitched extremely well. So it was a really good short trip.
Sox also placed young star outfielder Roman Anthony on the injured list with a wrist injury. Chad Tracy says that Roman has no setbacks, but that they couldn't justify playing a man down on the roster until he returned. Roman should be back for the series against the Braves in Atlanta next Friday. We've still got playoff hockey in Maine, as the Maine Mariners are headed to Wheeling, West Virginia for round 2 of the Kelly Cup playoffs. The team boarding several shuttle buses earlier on Thursday before leaving from the Jetport. The Mariners scoring a first-round TKO over Adirondack Wednesday night in a Game 7 thriller, coming back to beat the Thunder 3-1. It was the team's first ever playoff series win in a series that had it all.
We had a feeling it was going to go the distance. I mean, you look at the rivalry all season, and I mean, they played their hearts out, and it's that's playoff hockey right there. And I think we learned a lot, and we grew a lot as a group heading into Wheeling here.
The rivalry we built with those guys, I think it was kind of destined to go all the way, and we just stuck to what we do best, and just shows what kind of character we got in the room and the brotherhood we built in there to just stick with it and give our best.
Folks, that's all the time we have for sports. I like that block. I thought we got you a lot of information there. We'll be right back after the break.
We are joined today by Amelia, Cossette, and Mackenzie. You guys are part of Bangor Ballet, and you have some really fun productions and performances coming up. And as you can tell by the costumes, it is Wizard of Oz, of course. Thank you guys so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Of course. So for you guys, you said you started prep for this in January. So this has been a month-long thing. For you guys, Dorothy and the Lion, how much have you guys been practicing, and how excited are you guys for this?
We're both really excited.
Yeah.
We're both really, really excited. And we've been practicing like every weekend, pretty much. They're pretty long rehearsals. They can be like 5 hours.
Oh, wow. Okay, is this like an everyday rehearsal thing, or do you have it a few times a week?
Just usually once a week.
Once a week,
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. And for you, you are the executive director. How has prepping and getting, these ballerinas ready for this performance, how has that gone?
So they're just incredible. They put a lot of work into it. They start their prep actually at the age of 6, 7,
Oh, wow.
8 when you guys started.
Yeah.
They commit themselves to classical training that early, and then it takes a certain amount of years to condition their legs. So now that they're at this point and they're performing at the amount that they perform, they're doing about 9 or 10 classes a week, and then they have 5-hour rehearsals on Sunday. So
Okay, that's a lot of work, you guys. And these are happening, you said Saturday and Sunday. Where is this taking place and what times?
Peaks Auditorium at Bangor High School, and both shows, our Saturday show and our Mother's Day show on Sunday, they're both at 3 p.m.
Okay, and how long does that run for?
About an hour and 15 minutes.
Okay, very good. Well, girls, I'm sure that with you know, you being Dorothy, you being the lion, obviously this was a lot of work that goes into it. How is it collaborating with everyone and being able to perform with all of your, you know, castmates?
I mean, it's really fun, like being able to like be in an environment with like a bunch of people that love ballet and love dance so much, and you can really like act and portray the characters, and it's really fun. You know?
Yeah, I think that's the fun thing too about having kind of a theme to it and having the Wizard of Oz aspect, because you know you're combining that theme and the acting with dance as well. And for you, I'm sure, you know, some people might really love the arts and really want to go to this production, but maybe some people aren't, you know, super familiar with it. Is there anything that you would say to them? I'm sure everyone could get something out of this coming.
Yeah, it's incredible, and it's using Wizard of Oz especially as a way to expose people who, like you said, otherwise wouldn't think they would enjoy ballet or think to go to ballet to a new market, because it is very fun, it is entertaining, and it's beautiful to watch. So.
Yeah, of course. And you ladies are going to be beautiful up on that stage. Is there any place that people can go to find more information out about this?
Yeah, they can go to our website. It's www.bangorballet.org, and we have a special page directed just to tickets.
Perfect.
And our tickets are priced very low. There's no fees, so it's accessible to everyone.
Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you guys so much, and really, really good luck this week. I'm sure you guys will do fabulous this weekend.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you guys. We'll turn things right back over to meteorologist Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Craig and Janessa, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Clifton General Store. Start your morning right at Clifton General Store. Fresh coffee and hot breakfast. Family owned and operated. Alrighty, here we go. Wave heights are not too bad. Again, we have no advisories in effect along the coast or even on land for that matter. Wave heights at around 2 feet according to the buoys. The contour is not too bad either. You have to go further out towards sea for any active surf. That's around 5 to even 7 feet. So again, we're looking good along the coast for us. Meanwhile, on land, again, looking pretty quiet, just some clouds developing. We have a surface boundary right nearby. We can see a little bit of precipitation with that. We'll have some developing for us today as we watch for some scattered showers and a few rumbles of thunder possible today as temperatures reach for the upper 50s. Meanwhile, as we do zoom things out, at some areas seeing a little bit of precipitation. Again, for us today, a little surface boundary is what's going to bring the precipitation for us. So futurecast moving forward, we're going to see some clouds this morning, scattered showers and some thunderstorms possible. We clear a lot of this out of here later on tonight. And then once we head towards tomorrow again, sunshine to start, then we'll watch for clouds and a few showers possible. And then once we head towards our Sunday again, not looking too bad either, just some clouds on the way. So again, with the rainfall possible, again, I'm going to run this at least through Monday. Here we are with around a quarter to maybe a half an inch possible. The highest totals along the coast. Then I'll run this a little bit farther where some areas could see around an inch to maybe around an inch and a quarter. And this is between now and Wednesday with lesser totals further off towards the north. New drought monitor in the eastern parts of the state seeing the most improvement. Not so much further off towards the west. Western parts of the state could definitely use more rainfall. So for today, upper 50s, mostly cloudy, chance for showers and thunderstorms, and that west wind at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Later on tonight, here we go with mid 30s under a mostly clear sky, and that west breeze at about 5 miles per hour. Tomorrow, increasing clouds, rain showers with highs in the low 60s, and that south wind at around 10 to 25 miles per hour. Let's check out your extended forecast forecast for your Sunday, Mother's Day. Rain chances with highs in the low 60s with mid-50s coming up for your Monday. The rain showers continue. Rain chances again for your Tuesday. There it is right there with highs in the mid-50s again.
Dreaming of a new garage or custom build? Patriot Landscaping and Construction delivers from frame to finish. Expert craftsmanship, durable designs, and quality you can trust. We get it done right. Call Patriot Landscaping and Construction today. Let's build your future together.
We need to stop the trafficking of fentanyl. We've had serious issues. Our death rate climbed tremendously.
Susan Collins successfully fought to give law enforcement the critical tools they need to combat fentanyl traffickers.
And I don't know anybody else as sincere as Susan Collins is about keeping our young people in our communities safe. Thank you, Senator Collins, for delivering when it matters most.
At Planet Fitness, we know how important it is to take care of both your mind and body. That's why now through May 15th, all new members get free massage amenities all month long. So you can reset, recover, and leave feeling stronger than when you came in.
Did you just become a morning person?
Maybe. Join the club for just $1 down, $15 a month, and get free massage amenities for the month of May. No commitment. Deal ends May 15th.
Get ready for mowing season, for hauling season, and exploring season. Get ready for tearing it up, cutting it down, and working all around season. Because it's bad boy season, all year long. Bad boy, power, performance, attitude.
Dreaming of a new garage or custom build? Patriot Landscaping and Construction delivers from frame to finish. Expert craftsmanship, durable designs, and quality you can trust. We get it done right. Call Patriot Landscaping and Construction today. Let's build your future together.
Mother's Day is Sunday, and for those still searching for the perfect gift, we have some ideas to celebrate Mom. According to the National Retail Federation, consumers are expected to spend a record $38 billion on Mother's Day this year, and the most popular gifts won't come as a surprise. 75% of people plan to give flowers, and 74% will give a card. Special outings, gift cards, clothing, and jewelry also top that list. And while Americans will be spending billions, you do not have to break the bank. One shopping expert says to watch for sales on traditional Mother's Day favorites, but ultimately, she says the best gift depends on Mom, of course. Gifting an experience like a concert or sporting event is also a popular option. Giving Mom something personal that lasts far beyond the holiday.
That's a good idea. You buy concert tickets, it gives her something to look forward to leading up to the concert and everything.
Yeah, that's always a good idea. And flowers in the card, that's kind of always a given, I would say, but still appreciated.
Yeah, sometimes time is pretty valuable too.
Oh, definitely.
You know, to spend a little time with Mom on Sunday, and she'll appreciate it. All right, moving on now. SpaceX announces a major partnership with an American AI company. The aerospace company has announced that it will give Anthropic access to its massive Colossus One artificial intelligence data center. Under the deal, Anthropic will use the full computing power of SpaceX's AI's Memphis facility to boost capacity for its Claude Pro and Max AI assistants, as well as raise usage limits for subscribers. Colossus One is one of the world's largest AI data centers with more than 220,000 processors there. I don't understand any of that.
Me either. That's okay, though.
But it's
I'm sure some
good
people
for them.
Watching do.
Yeah.
Well, every Wednesday at one aquarium in Atlanta, veterans get the opportunity to snorkel with sea life. Vets get the chance to swim in a 6 million gallon tank at the Georgia Aquarium. It's part of the Military Salute Program, which works with different veteran organizations each week. This week, the aquarium invited injured veterans from the Wounded Warrior Project. One veteran who became paraplegic during his time serving in Iraq was part of that group.
Every Wednesday, we serve a different veterans organization, and we put 8 wounded, ill, or injured veterans in the water at a time. So today, they're going to be swimming in Ocean Voyager exhibit with our whale shark and manta rays.
Part of those sea creatures, the vets get to swim with and include a whale shark and, of course, the manta rays.
It gives them, 30.
Very
That's
neat.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the time that we have left for this morning. But as always, we thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for being there. And to all the moms out there, we
Yes,
hope you have
happy
a
Mother's
wonderful
Day.
weekend. Wish you a very happy Mother's Day. Thank you for joining us, everyone. We hope you have a great day.
Today on 25 Words or Less, he famously won an Emmy for his role